Hey everybody, so today we're going to be yanking down this attic scuttle. We're going to insulate it, and I'll show you why. I got some thermal imaging photos that I'll show you right about now. You'll see that there is a temperature difference. So what we're going to do is we're going to yank that down, we're going to pull it into the garage, and we're going to frame it out and insulate it. Okay, got the attic hatch in the garage on a portable bench. As you can see, someone made an attempt to insulate this before. Well, that someone was me actually, about 10 years ago. Didn't do a very good job. It was just kind of like a makeshift type of thing. So now we're going to do it right. So I'm going to clean all this insulation off first. It's not vermiculite, it's just blown in cellulose. Okay, so let's rip this fiberglass off. My general plan, I'm going to make a 2x4 frame along the perimeter of this. So like a 2x4 box. And then I'm going to put in this stuff here. So I'm going to do a layer on the bottom and a layer on top. And according to the documentation here, I think that'll give me at least R7. I do have some fiberglass in the attic, some fresh stuff that I can put in here too. So let's get this torn off. I think I just stapled it on. Not putting up much of a fight. Okay, now let me make that frame. We'll come back and we'll finish it off. All right, so I got my 2x4 frame built. As you can see, I boxed in around the perimeters, stapled in from the finished side here around the perimeter. And now we have a spot where we can plop our insulation. So I'm actually going to do a couple different things. I kind of screwed up a little bit. I wanted to take this reflective stuff, put it down on the plywood first, and leave a little bit sticking out along the edges to seal them, but I got distracted. A neighbor came by, neighbor and friend, with a beer. So yeah, that's what normally happens right here. I have this plan in my head, then friends show up, and then I have to improvise. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do instead, I'm just gonna put a piece inside here along the perimeter. I'm gonna run it up the edges a little bit. Then I'm gonna take some of that fiberglass bat that I have, throw it inside. Then I'm gonna seal it in with this reflective stuff too. So that should give us a pretty good R value. I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but that fiberglass bat is R13. This stuff, like I said, is R7, so it's going to be better in the insulation than the ceiling now. All right, I got my friend and helper here. We're just going to shove this piece down inside like this. And I'm just going to staple it. Couple times in the field. Now, if you needed to achieve some kind of vapor-proof seal, they make tape for this stuff, but this is just an attic hatch. I mean, this is already overkill. So, what's next? Let's trim off some of the excess, then we'll throw some fiberglass inside. So I took the insulation that was stapled down here and just kind of lay it in here. Happens to fit perfectly. I do have some other fiberglass up in the attic that I can use to fill this cavity here. I mean, I don't know. Do we really have to? Probably not, but I'm going to. All right, so I took some spare R13 insulation I had in the attic and just kind of rolled it up to fit this void. It's not perfect, but it'll work. So now we're going to take this stuff here, we're going to roll it on top and make an insulation sandwich. Then we'll trim off the excess. Where's my staple gun?
Right there.
Oh, thank you. Get our razor knife, trim off the excess. There we go. Put a few more staples in there first. All right, so we're just about done here. We've got the edges trimmed, and inside the house, on that trim that actually supports the weight of this attic hatch, I'm going to install this product here, which is basically just like a fancy, well, not really fancy, just a little unsophisticated weather stripping. So that should keep out any moisture, or not moisture, any warm air or cold air, depending upon what season it is, and also conform to some of the irregularities in the panel. So I think that's probably going to be it. I'm not going to show you installing this because it's going to be kind of difficult to do, only because it's going to be up in the air. But all these products here you can get locally at home centers. You can get them online. I'll leave links in the description if anybody wants them. I will, before I close this video, I'll take some thermal imaging of the aftermath so you can see how much it's improved, if it's improved at all. Hopefully it has. So let me go install, and then we'll pick it up with some thermal images. All right, so there's our finished product, which is not unlike what it looked like before we started this. As you can see from the thermal imaging, the door itself is almost indistinguishable from the surrounding ceiling and walls. So yeah, big difference. You can see on that original thermal image, this part of the attic hatch was almost like a red color, and now it just blends in and disappears. So yeah, I would say this project was a success. Anyway, if you found this video helpful, please subscribe, stay safe, and thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.